Well, we're here on Pelican Lake in Minnesota, and I'd like to introduce you to Luca Gadjalou. She's a West White Potter 19, and we're here on a pretty windless day, which is a great day to try out the spinnaker for the first time, which I just did. And after a number of tangles and line mishaps, I think I got it right. It's not a super big sail, but it's probably like a 150 Genoa size, but it's pretty good. It's not really moving us very well because there's virtually no wind, and we were supposed to have a regatta today, but that's not happening. I don't even know where the markers are. I've never done a regatta, and I guess today just adds to my streak of never having done a sailing regatta. But anyhow, I came out here to try it out. Don't know where the buoys are, don't know where there's boats all over the lake, but I don't know where they would race because there's literally no wind. But I got this boat a couple years ago. I bought it from a fella in Lake Tahoe. It's one of the later production numbers of West White Potter 19s from International Marine in California. And I did some modifications. I put winch behind me just to lead the halyards back to the cockpit, and rigged it for a spinnaker. You can see the spinnaker halyard right there, whatever. Can't point to it in the camera, but I can raise the sails from the cockpit, can control pretty much everything else from the cockpit. The spinnaker required about 15 trips up to the foredeck to untangle it. So I need more practice than zero to get this thing done. I also cleaned up the cockpit. I re-rigged the keel raising system. That was kind of a tangled mess. I put all this different hardware. I put cheek blocks. I put a new mast step in here, which I'm kind of proud of. That's essentially a piece of metal that I put under the original mast step, and then put a couple of blocks in order to lead all the lines aft. And I don't want to make it any more complicated than that. This is just a lake sailor, but it's clean, it's done right. I sort of pre-drilled the cabin top with an extra wide bit, and then lined it with epoxy, then re-drilled it, and then put the screws in so the balsa core won't rot and if it gets wet. There were some other weird things, little nuances with this. I had a leak in this boat, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. It turned out when I got it in the garage, I filled the bilge up with water in the garage and just looked to see where the drip was. My big fear was that it was coming from the keel trunk, but it wasn't. It was actually just coming from that sort of a cheap plastic the little plug, the through hole plug that drains the bilge. That was leaking, I guess, through a screw or whatever. But I took it off and got rid of the cheap one that came with the boat, and I bought another cheap one and put it on there with lots of caulk, and that seems to have solved the slow leak problem, which is reassuring. Other than that, this is a great boat. It's a great looking boat. It sails real nice. You can overpower it. It tends to want to sail upright, and it doesn't have like a rounded hull. It's sort of, traditional motorboat style. If you get it over the edge, it will tip over on you, which I did with my daughter and scared her to death. But it's been a nice little day sailor, and you can actually spend the night in here if you want. I mean, I think the only reasonable place for one guy to sleep is right here on this long one, or in the V berth. But you can make coffee in the morning, do your usual thing. The toilet that comes with it is basically the size for a 3-year-old. So I just took that out, and if you have to go to the bathroom on West White Potter, you're gonna have to either go overboard or dock somewhere. But otherwise, it's it's been a real nice boat. It's a beautiful day out here in Minnesota. We get very few nice weekends because of the long winters, and this is certainly one of the nice ones, even though it's windless, but that's okay. So anyhow, hope this helps you, and leave comments below. Appreciate your time.